OData service, there will be a data model. What do we mean by data model? So this data model will define what are the fields available in each API and how a couple of APIs are related to each other. This is very, very important. So for every OData service, we will have a data model. So that will specify what are the what are the data types, how many, what are, is it a sortable, filterable, all those things it will have in the data model. And the important thing is it will have the relationships between APIs. So what do I mean by relationships? To be honest, all these APIs, all these individual APIs comes under one data model, right? SuccessFactors EC data model. All these APIs are part of that single data model, and you can navigate. You can navigate from this API to this API, from this API to this API, from this API to this API. You can navigate and fetch the data. You don't need to give, or you don't need to give all these API endpoints. Every API has an endpoint, right? Or you don't need to specify all the endpoints. You can start from anywhere and you can navigate to other entities, navigate to other APIs. So the important property is the navigations. So it will specify, it will have the navigation. So what do I mean by navigation? I can navigate from one entity to other entity. Let's say I took the per person. So this is the biographical information, right? So this is how we see the data here in the biographical information. It has the person ID, date of birth, all those things, right? Country of birth, birth name, date of birth, all those fields. Now, if I scroll down a bit, I can see some things are highlighted in blue here. So these are other entities, other APIs. Territory is another API. Per email is another API. Employment, per address, per national ID, per personal. So if I fetch this API, I can navigate to other entities as well. I can navigate to other APIs as well, right? So let's say I used only this API and I can get the value from the email address. What is the email address of this person? What is the national ID card of this particular person? What is the address of this particular person? I can navigate, I can get other information of an employee as well. Fine. So how to remember what are the navigations available? So if you select the per person, we can go to email, address, employment, all those things, right? So if I go to employment, I can go to emp job and emp compensation. There is no direct relationship between person and emp compensation. To understand this better, I have created a map for you. So if I open this, so here you have per person, and you need to remember only this picture. You need to understand this picture only. Most of your integrations falls into these navigations. The first thing is the per person. This is the starting entity or starting API, and from per person you can navigate to per personal, per email, per phone, per address default, per national ID. You can navigate to these things, and employment as well. If you can navigate to employment, then you can navigate to the job as well, and you can navigate to the compensation as well. So tell me one thing, answer this. If I want to navigate, if I want to get some data from per person entity which is available in the pay comp non-recurring, how can I navigate? How can I navigate to pay comp non-recurring?
Through employee compensation.
No, can you tell me the complete path?
Like first we have employment. If we
Yes.
can go there, then we can land here for the
If
compensation, employee compensation.
employment, then we can go to compensation, and then we can go to pay comp non-recurring, right? So how many sub levels? If I say the per person sub level is 0, how many sub levels we need to navigate? This is sub
Three.
level 1. Yes. Sub level 2 and sub level 3. If you go to sub level 3, you can get the fields from the emp pay comp non-recurring, right? So just understand this picture, but again, when we build integrations, you will have a clear idea. And this OData dictionary helps us very much, this would be a meaningful tool for us when you are trying to integrate, right? OData API data dictionary, it has all the details related to the OData APIs. So like I said, the SuccessFactors exposes its APIs using two methods. One is the OData and the other one is SOAP. So we usually call it as SOAP as SFAPIs. So we have OData APIs and we have SFAPI or SOAP APIs. So we have seen the all the available APIs in this OData API data dictionary. But what about SFAPI? We have the similar thing here. If you search for SFAPI data dictionary, it will have all the SFAPIs, SOAP APIs in the available here. It will take some time to load, but these are all the APIs available in the SOAP protocol. But you can see all these are deprecated, so these are not being used, these are not usable, so we cannot use them right now. What does this note say? Please note, SFAPI is deprecated as of August 2018. Please use OData for new development and consider your moving your legacy applications and integrations to OData. So SAP is recommending to use OData only. They are not recommending to use SFAPI, and anyway, the SFAPIs are deprecated in 2018. You cannot use all these things. But there is an exception. We have only one API, one SF API available, which is the CompoundEmployee API. If I scroll down here, there you can see the CompoundEmployee. If I click on this plus, it will open up all the fields available in this particular API. We have only one API, which is the CompoundEmployee. And why they haven't deprecated it, why they kept it as it is this is a very important API when you want to build integrations for the changed employee data. We usually call it as delta integrations. To build delta integrations, compound employee is very flexible compared to the OData. So we will learn the compound employee API and the OData APIs as well, how to build integrations. And if you master this compound employee API, if you master this compound employee API and if you understand this compound employee API, you will be a gem of SuccessFactors integration consultant. So you will understand everything in the SuccessFactors, and this is a bit complex one, to be honest. And if you can understand this better, then there is no stopping, right? So we will learn how to use this OData APIs and how to use compound employee API for our data extractions, right? So for compound employee API, you can see the entity name is compound employee, supported operations query and query mode. So the difference, when you use compound employee, you cannot push the data to SuccessFactors, but using OData APIs, we can push the data, we can fetch the data and we can push the data bidirectional. But with compound employee API, you can only fetch the data, you cannot push the data to the SuccessFactors. That is the difference, and we will see the differences in our upcoming sessions as well. And here we have all the fields, and we have supported things like the is it filterable or not, is it sortable or not, is it required or not, pick list or not, supported operators, sensitivity, all those things are maintained here, right? So this is about the OData APIs and compound employee API. And I would like to show you another thing here before we close this session. That is the so if I open the contact information, if I try to edit this, so email type, you can see we have business and personal. We have this drop down option, right? So there you can select out of multiple things. For phone type as well, you can see we have a drop down. So whenever you see a drop down in the SuccessFactors user interface, the way it is represented in the API or the way it is stored in the database is called as pick list. we call them as pick list. Pick lists are simply drop downs. Drop downs in UI. What whenever you see a drop down, it is referring to a pick list. So how can I know? How can I know this phone type pick list? What is the pick list name and all those things? You have to go to the OData API. OData API data dictionary. Whenever you have a doubt regarding the APIs, the go-to option is the OData API data dictionary, right? So just 1 second, it will load.
Hi Deepak,
Now
is it a new topic?
entity, sorry.
Success factors we're covering, right?
Yeah, we'll start in 10 minutes for our batch.
Oh,
Let
okay.
me finish this one. Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
sure. Okay. So if I open the perp phone, if I open this, and if you can see, we have this phone type, right? This is the field that we are discussing. This is the field name, phone type. And here you can see in the SAP Picklist section, we have this EC phone type, right? So this is the picklist associated with the phone type. So if I open this, if I want to see what is maintained in this picklist, I can open something called as Picklist Center. Picklist Center. You will have all those options in this Picklist Center. I'll copy this picklist name, and here you can see all the picklists available here in this database, right? So I'll simply search for this one. You can find here. So there are a couple of versions. You can maintain versions, but open this one, the default one. Here you go. These are the labels that are visible in the user interface, right? We have business, home, business one, sell one, and all those things. And these are the external codes. We will learn what is an external code and all those things. If I open it, open one picklist value, you have this option ID, label, external code, is it active or not, non-unique external codes, all these things. You can navigate to the pick list as well. You can navigate to the pick list and you can fetch all these fields. You can fetch all these fields. So if I go here, and you can see we have phone type and phone type nav as well. There is a navigation to the pick list option. So if I open this, you can see we have external code. We can pull the external code, we can pull the ID, we can pull the local label as well, option value, status, sort order, all those things we can pull it from the pick list option navigation. Okay, so if I open this pick list center, so pick list center contains all the information related to pick list, which are drop downs options in the EC, right? So we have to navigate to the associated pick list entity to read the external code, label, option ID, etc., right? So we will learn how to navigate, how to fetch the data using APIs and all those things in our next session. Okay.